Hey YouTube, welcome to the Jedi Night's Watch. Today's episode is going to be about our top 5 favorite Funko Pops in our collection. You might notice that Rob is not sitting next to me, and that is because we are in quarantine mode. So Rob and I are trying to do as many videos as possible together, but shooting remotely, so hopefully we don't miss a beat. We're really excited to give you guys our top 5 favorite pops in our collection. These are not favorite pops of all time. This is just what we own right now, so this is ever so changing and could change a week, a month, a year down the road. And hopefully we can keep you guys in the loop with what our favorite pops are in our collections. This was really hard for me to pick 5. I have almost 200 Funko Pops, and I kept going back and forth on which ones to put in and which ones to leave out. So really hard for me to do. I'm really excited for my 5. Can't wait to show you guys. Rob, how was it for you? Did you have an easy time doing it? Was it hard?
It was hard for me to choose my top 5 that I own. I have Leonardo here because he was actually my first ever pop, so cool little fact. So I figured I'd have him out here with me. I don't have the box for him. I wanted him to make the top 5, but there's just too many. But I do have him out here to show, hey, this was my first ever pop. So let's go ahead and get started.
All right, before Rob gives you his number 5 favorite Funko Pop in his collection, don't forget to give us a like if you like what we're doing. If you enjoy these videos, give us a thumbs up. That really helps us, pushes us to keep doing this kind of stuff. Subscribe, be a part of the watch, and ring the bell so that you can be notified when we have new content coming your way. All right, Rob, hit us up with number 5.
All right, so I'm going to start with my number 5 Funko Pop that I own, ranked number 5, and that would be the Stranger Things Max in a costume. This is from season 2, the big Halloween scene where she comes out and she scares the rest of the cast, and you know, she has the Michael Myers mask, and which Michael Myers, which is probably why this made the list, is by far my favorite, what should I say, horror genre. Well, not genre, but Halloween is my favorite series when it comes to horror, and I love Michael Myers. And when she came out in this, I love Stranger Things, and they put the two together, I was hyped. So yeah, I mean, this pop has the she's carrying a little pumpkin, she's got the mask on her head. It's a perfect pop. She has like the jumpsuit on and all that stuff. So I was really pleased when they actually made this into a pop. So yeah, this is definitely my number 5 pop that I own.
Hey, that was a great choice by Rob with his 5th favorite Funko Pop in his collection. Coming in at number 5 for me is going to be Maui, the 2018, I think it's the Spring Convention exclusive, the Shark Head. This one holds a special place in my heart. My daughter is 2.5 and she loves Moana, and I've seen the movie more than I can count, so obviously it's kind of grown on me, and I love the part of the movie when Maui is trying to shapeshift and he can't really figure out, you know, how to do it, and he turns into half shark, half human. And I really just love the pop itself. I love the pose where he is unsure of what he's doing because he is so confused with what's going on at that point in the movie. And really good detail with his tattoos. It just looks great. You know, he's half shark with half human, you know, 2 legs. He's got fins. Really cool detail. Just love the expression on his face. And more so, this is really a favorite of mine because I love watching this movie with my daughter. So it holds a special place in my heart. And Maui, the Shark Head exclusive, would be my number 5 in my collection.
Okay, this is my number 4 pop that I own, making the list. It is the Joker from Batman the Killing Joke. I love the comic. The movie's pretty good as well. And this is by far one of my favorite Jokers. I'm really happy they made it into a Funko Pop. The detail in this Funko Pop is outstanding. He's got the camera, he's got the hat, he's got the smile on his face, you know, his little, you know, it looks like he's on vacation. It's just, I love this pop. It is a Funko 2016 New York Comic Con limited edition, so It is pretty hard to find, especially these days. It's been a few years. You can still find it online for a decent deal, but you're not gonna find it at a retail price, obviously. I wanna say you can find it from like 30 to 50 bucks, depending on how lucky you can be. I know that's a broad, a broad price, but yeah, this guy makes my list. The Joker is an iconic villain when it comes to really any, you know, no matter who you are, you know the Joker, okay? They just came out with the movie and all of that, and this is by far my favorite Joker Funko Pop. That's why he made the list.
All right, guys, Rob had a villain for his number 4, and I'm going to follow suit and give you a villain as well for my number 4, and it's going to be Baxter Stockman from TMNT, the classic animated series. This is a 2017 Summer Convention exclusive. This pop also means a lot to me. A lot of nostalgia watching the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. When I was a kid, one of my favorite shows, my favorite heroes were the Turtles. And for some reason, I went a long time without watching the animated series, and now I have the first 3 seasons purchased. So I've been getting back into it, but I always remembered Baxter as Shredder's kind of henchman, and then, you know, he accidentally gets turned into this half fly, half human character. You know, here he's got the 4 arms, and he's got his hairdo yet, but his face looks like a fly, and he's got the fly wings. And again, I guess this one just really reminds me of the cartoon and kind of my childhood and, you know, awesome times. So I had to get it, and he is really reasonably priced. I think you can find him on eBay for like $15 to $20, which is pretty great for an exclusive. Must have not been that high in demand, but I am certainly glad that I have him in my collection, and that is Baxter Stockman from TMNT. A very underrated pop, in my opinion.
Coming in at number 3, my one and only Game of Thrones Funko Pop on the list. I have a bunch of them behind me. I know Graeme has a bunch of them. I wouldn't be surprised if he puts one of his Game of Thrones pops on his list. I personally do not know what his list is, since we are recording in separate studios. So here we are with Joffrey. I chose him because he is by far my favorite Game of Thrones pop. I love that he's got the crown on his head. I've always been a fan of Joffrey on the show. I don't know why. I thought he was the best villain on the show. I feel like when he went off the show kind of went down just a little bit, and then all of a sudden just dropped off at the end. But when Joffrey was on the show, he was by far, the show was at its peak. I'll just say that. And I love, I'm gonna say a lot about detail with these pops. I love the detail. He's got his crown. When they came out with the Game of Thrones throne pop, he's perfect to be able to sit on the throne and make a scene. You can do so much with this guy. He's great. I'm keeping him in the box because he's worth some money right now and really hard to find. But he was in the 3rd edition of the Game of Thrones line. He's awesome. He's got his crossbow, where if you've seen the show, there's a couple scenes with the crossbow in it, the same crossbow that Tyrion uses later. This is a very cool pop. He made my list, number 3.
All right, so Rob had another villain for his number 3. Can you guys see a pattern here? I don't know, man. And that's one of the worst villains ever, but a great looking pop. So a good choice, Rob, on your number 3. My number 3, though, is going to be somebody to combat that villain, and it's going to be a hero, and it's actually going to be Superhero Kermit. This one I've had in my collection for quite a while. It is a 2017 Emerald City Comic-Con exclusive. There were only 3,000 of these made, and so it is pretty limited. The normal Kermit, I know, is pretty expensive too. He goes for, I think, around $100. This one's only valued around $60. Again, the price isn't why these are in my top 5. These are just ones that mean a lot to me. Ones that I really like, and ones that I really wouldn't want to get rid of. I just like the uniqueness of the pop. Who thinks of Kermit the Frog as a superhero? Not me. But here he has a green outfit on with his M on his chest. He's got some bright green gloves and a cape, and of course his mask, so he is ready to fight crime. And he is part of the Muppets, obviously, and a great looking pop that really strikes me. And one of my favorite Christmas movies is Muppet Christmas Carol, so that could be a part of the reason too that I really like this Funko Pop, and also just the uniqueness of it. You don't see a superhero Muppet very often. So my number 3 is Superhero Kermit.
My number 2 pop is Captain Marvel from the first Avenger. If I didn't have a Marvel pop on my list, I couldn't call myself a Marvel fan. So here we go. I chose my favorite Marvel pop that I have. It is Captain America. He is not my favorite superhero. My favorite superhero is Spider-Man, by the way, and I have a few of them. But this pop is an exclusive. It's amazing. It is I had to remember what the year was, 2017 Spring Convention exclusive. I was able to find him at Hot Topic. I know Graeme has one of these bad boys too. If you do not have one of these, go out and get it. This is by far the coolest Captain America, I even say MCU Funko Pop that they have out there right now. The shield is amazing. It's like that old school 40s look. He's got it all. He's got the goggles, the old school helmet. This pop is by far one of the coolest looking pops I've seen to date. Yes, there are a bunch of cool pops out there. There's a bunch of cool pops that I do not have, but this guy in my collection makes my number 2.
Another great choice by Rob coming in at his number 2. I will also say that I love that Captain America. It is actually my only Captain America Funko Pop that I have as well. And I really like him that he's kind of got that throwback look, the vintage Captain America look. So great choice, Rob. My number 2 is a Game of Thrones Funko Pop. And this is Jon Snow Beyond the Wall exclusive. I believe this was a Walmart exclusive. The really cool thing about this, it's exactly like the common Jon Snow number 7 in the Game of Thrones line, but they put a bunch of glitter all over the pop to make it look like snow, and therefore you get the name Beyond the Wall because he is up in the northern parts, and you know, obviously it's really snowy there. So this pop has really always been one of my favorite Game of Thrones. It is my favorite Game of Thrones Funko Pop. The pop itself, there's not much about it, but Jon Snow is one of my favorite characters, and I think the glitter is just a really cool touch. When you move it into the light, you can really see it kind of, the light bouncing off of the pop. I've never opened this one, so he's never been out of the box. He probably will never be out of the box. When the 8th season of Game of Thrones, before it came out, this guy was selling for almost $400 on eBay, and now his value is about $75. So, oof, that really came down in price, but hey, that's okay. I don't plan on getting rid of this one. Jon Snow, number 7, Beyond the Wall, my number 2 favorite pop in my collection.
My number 1, get ready. It might surprise you a little bit. This was really hard. I went back and forth with Captain America and even my Joker and all of that, but I had to choose this guy. When I got him, I was very happy, and it plays a huge part in my heart that they made a pop in this for this character, and I'll just show you. So it's Robin Hood from the cartoon. And why Robin Hood? I have Peter Pan, I have a couple other Disney characters. Robin Hood though, and Peter Pan's actually my favorite Disney character, but Robin Hood played a big part in my childhood, and this pop is so unique. The way he's shaped, how big his head is compared to his body, even more so than other pops. And just the big eyes, his really cool hat, everything about him. He's you know, the feather in his hat, the bow and arrow, the tail coming out in the back, almost looks like, I know he's a fox, but almost reminds me of Tails in a way from Sonic. And I love this pop. I do not have the other two in the series, Prince John and the Snake. I do not have those two. I would love to get them. But yeah, this is my number 1 pop for the uniqueness of the pop, and just going back and thinking back of the good old days. Reminds me of the music in the beginning and all that good stuff. So yeah, every time I see this pop, it just looks like a cartoon coming out, you know, on my shelf. It's perfect.
Another great choice by Rob at his number 1, a Disney character, and my number 1 is also going to be from Disney, and it's a newer pop to my collection that I've been wanting for a long time, and it is the Genie from Aladdin. This is the first Genie that came out, the original Genie, number 54 in the Disney line. I think it's ironic that Rob and I both, our number 1s are Disney when, you know, we're into Star Wars, Game of Thrones, you know, Batman, Turtles, and all that stuff. But again, these pops mean something to us, and they have a lot of nostalgia behind them, and childhood memories. Aladdin is one of my favorite Disney movies growing up. Also really liked Beauty and the Beast, obviously. Everybody likes Lion King, but Aladdin, now, something about the genie, that character was one of my favorites. And I think just a big part of his backstory is why I really like him. Robin Williams playing the genie, obviously passing away, you know, means something to me as well. And the genie is just a great character. I love how he looks, the uniqueness of his pointy ears, his hairdo, his beard, his curl coming down his chin, the pose with his arms crossed, and kind of that smirk. So this one is becoming harder to find, and it's becoming more valuable. So hopefully it just keeps going up in value. But again, if it doesn't, that's fine too, because he's in my collection and he's here to stay. Again, this one has been a personal grail for some time, probably since I've been collecting for the past few years, and I'm really happy to have him in my collection. Yeah, so that's my number one, is the genie from Aladdin.
Okay guys, so here you have it, my top 5 Funko Pops. I hope this works out. I know my head's kind of cutting off and everything, but it's the best I could do at the time. Hopefully you guys are staying safe. Hopefully Graeme was able to give you guys a cool list as well. I know he's got a lot of cool pops over there, and I'm glad we could splice this up for you. So yeah, once again, Max in the costume from Stranger Things. I've got the Joker from The Killing Joke, Joffrey from Game of Thrones, Captain America from the first Avenger with the really cool outfit and the 40s look, and I got Robin Hood. I do have plenty of pops back here. I cannot wait to show you guys a collection one day. Don't forget about little Leonardo here. And until next time, guys, I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Rob, for collaborating with me and still being able to put out these awesome videos. We love doing this together, and there's no better way to do it. My top 5, just to recap, my number 5 was Maui, the shark head exclusive, Baxter Stockman from TMNT, Superhero Kermit, Jon Snow Beyond the Wall, and the Genie. Hope you guys enjoyed our top 5 favorite pops in our collection lists. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, because hey, this is the place to be. We want to have a lot of fun with you guys and create a community, so be a part of that. Until next time, we'll see you soon.